Welcome to the Yeshiva Daf Shir sponsor Nishma Sam Yakshon now Basitzchok. We are holding in Basra Daf Kuf Ayin Aleph. We're starting in Kuf Ayin Aleph on Aleph on the what is it? 6 lines at the top. Gemara says my Bryce. What do you mean Bryce? We learned in the previous Daf that we had a machlekes in the Mishnah. If a person paid off some of his debt, what do you do? So the Rabbi Yehuda says you'll go and you will do another shtar. And Brasi says you write a shofar. So said Rav Huna, we don't pass in either of them because according who can write the new shtar? Either write a receipt or you write a new shtar. Who's going to write the new shtar? The Eidim. He said no. Basically, do not Eidim. So he argues on the Mishnah. So the Gemara, if you would hear the brisa that says the Eidim could do it, he would not argue. So the Gemara, my brisa, what's the brisa? Right? The Tanya Risha no shebo elef zuz uporim meim chavesh mod zuz. That's the case. Person owes 1,000. He paid back 500. Eidim mekayim es hashtar. The koisim lo shtar achar is not rishoin. Clearly, the Eidim are the ones that write a new shtar. They tell the original shtar. And so he's Bamisha. First date. Yeah. That's the whole big taste over here. Eidim can write the shtar rishon. Why? Why can they do that? Because that's part of the shlichus to make sure you always go and say that there was original loan because there's a svara to it. The original loan was done then, and it's actually true. Just right now, you have a reduction of the loan. So reduction of the loan goes back to that. That's Rabbi Yehuda. No, keep a star. Write a receipt. There's 2 reasons why to write a receipt and not just to change the star. One is because that's how he's going to make him sure to pay. Because the guy's going to say, I'm going to lose receipts, he's going to come and extract all the money. He's going to be more worried when to pay faster. And the second one, because I want to have the original date. So the Gemara of Rabbi Yehuda now means Bamisha Kamer. What do you mean? Even when you write a new shtar, you means Bamisha. So what you're right. Have a guy with Rabbi Yehuda. If you say that you do the first original time, I argue you because of one reason. I don't want to give him a new shtar because I want to make him nervous. I want to make the loiva nervous. If you said that you have to write a new date, I have 2 reasons why I'm arguing you. One, also because of the date. In other words, he wasn't sure if Rabbi Yehuda said you go with Bamisha. It's not showing that debate that we just discussed. That was the suffix of the Gemara as well.
Yeah, but it's not shame that penalizes the Malbim.
Right. That's what he says.
Why should the Malbim be penalized? Because the guy only...
Because only pay only half. Exactly. That's the problem. That's part of the reason why he says you don't do it. The way the Rashbam says it is if you look at the Rashbam, he says second middle range lines, not narrow, not wide, the middle ones. The Rashbam says places where you count based on the summer months, meaning the Goyish calendar. Because of the shtar to some they're playing because nizkakim lechal matay yom tidosh chodesh nimtzo inosa b'yom Shabbos u'masilut tishrei. In other words, easy for us to connect it. He writes the English date. So he wrote, we're going to do it on September 13th. You check that year, September 13th was Yom Kippur. You read the Rashi Yom Kippur. Who he writes the date? He writes August 7th. You find out August 7th was a Shabbos. Could write then. So then, it says you assume it was written meaning it was written, the loan happened earlier, and he wrote the later date. So the loan happened on Thursday, and he wrote Shabbos, and we have a cloud. Shtar me'ucher kasha, shtar mugdam basel. If you write a shtar early, it's basel. If you write a late date in the shtar, it's kasha. This says no, it's basel. So what do you mean? There was a story by you. And Tzipori came to you and you allowed it. We're talking about the case where we know clearly that was done not that day because it was either Yom Kippur or Shabbos. That case we just said. That's what we're just talking about. Amar Pedasa Kol Moedim Shimuskaknu Lo Inosa Shtar Princess Inosa Chuvenes B'Shabbos or Basar B'Tishtei Shtar Meucher Uvikosha. Meaning, there's no machlekes today if it's clearly not written today because it's either Shabbos or Yom Kippur. You assume it's a good shtar. Why? Because people don't write stars on Yom Kippur. So why did they put the date on Yom Kippur? Because they took a later date. They're doing it earlier, but do a later date for the shtar, for the shuv, the shtar, whatever the reason they decide to do it, and it's a kosher the shtar.
You only write shtar during the day?
The pashtas. It's a good question. Maybe it was in the night, and then at pashtas you rather shtar during the day, and then you mail. That's a good halal. You could be that, could be that. So either because they do it during the day because it's a base din. Didn't you do the day? Or you start, you end in the night. You start in the day. Or Pshat is that he wrote there the day. He wrote the day. He wrote, it was done on September 25th during the morning. So that will be a thing. That's another solution. Okay, so he says, talking about a regular shtar meucher, meaning the day was a little delayed. Rabbi Yehuda goes to Shitas, he holds there's no receipts. There's no receipts. What do you care to write a later date? Who loses when you have a later date? The lender. You can't come and be going there only from the later date. See? He agreed to do it. But he said, but if you hold you do a receipt as a chorba, what's a chorba? Let's take the case and expand it a little bit so make it clear. You have a shtar that was written today in Kislev. A loan that happened today. Today is today was Yudav. Yudav Kislev. The shtar was written today. You go now and he writes a date of Rosh Chodesh Adar. Shtar Meucher, kosher, right? In Hanukkah, the guy made a nice deal, comes back and he pays him back. He writes him a receipt. The receipt says, Hanukkah, you pay me back. On Purim, the guy comes to him, when they collect, he says, don't forget, you owe me money. So, what do you mean, I owe you money? I paid you back. Here's my receipt. So what is the date on the receipt? Hanukkah. What's the date on the shtar? Rosh Chodesh Adar. This shtar is after. He didn't know the loan. He doesn't know that really was the original shtar. They did it on Yudav Kislev. But he wrote a later date. He wrote Rosh Chodesh Adar. How can you prove it? You have your dates against the date. That's why shtar meucher is a problem if you hold kosim shayfer. Because he's going to say it goes against your receipt was earlier. It's a new law.
You can't put the details into the shtar.
Well, it was to get to that. Very good. There's solutions to that. As opposed to say, Mamash, in this Amud, we have other solutions.
Protect the borrower against himself.
What?
We're doing this to protect the borrower. Isn't the borrower?
No, it's the lender.
Well,
We're doing it to protect the borrower from the lender.
I understand, but I'm saying is, wasn't the borrower part of the original transaction?
Who writes the shtar?
But I'm saying
The lender.
Yeah, but you do it without the borrower. I thought we said before.
No, of course you shtar l'malveh without the loivin. Of course you loivin without the malveh. Sorry, you're right. Loivin without the malveh. But the point is, you ask, okay, why did the loivin agree in the first place? The loivin, when he did in the first place, he thought it's a good thing. I don't have to do a meshubot. See? Or he didn't realize the shtar meucher is kosher. But once you have a receipt, then you have a problem. So what it says,
I feel man. Pay if the guy doesn't have says I don't have the contract, the loan.
Oh, it comes to the shtar.
If the borrower
That's a different case.
You lost it.
Lost what? The shayver?
Isn't the lender coming in saying I lost it, I'm giving you a receipt?
No, that's it. No. Talk about here, repeat. In this case, if the Gemara, we're talking about our sukkah today, he's paid partial. He got $1 million, he paid half. So okay, I got a receipt, I paid half.
That's not what I'm saying, but he paid with a receipt.
Yeah, but now he goes back and the shtar is a later date to the receipt.
No, but why can't the borrower say, I'm not paying you unless you give me back
the shtar? That's a machlekes. Again, we have a machlekes in this sukkah, kosim shaver and kosim shaver. There's one number that holds like UTB. He says, that's why I don't write a receipt. Give me back the shtar. The other one says, the ones that expand about it soon in a moment also to give the reasons, says you do write a receipt. We said a reason a second ago. Why? be nervous.
And he has to accept the receipt.
Yes, if it goes to show you have to accept it. You can force upon you to have the receipt. So if I have a shtar mu'uchar, now I have a problem with the receipt because the receipt will be before the shtar. Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara now. Omar Abu Nabi Yeshua Filu Mando Omar Koisvim Shoiber Hani Milia Palgo Akuloi. Even if you say that you read a receipt, it's only on a partial. You're starting the Masechta on Wednesday. Your Rishocha is giving it, so be here. Be here for the new Masechta. Says the Gemara, it's only half the law. You don't write a shaver on the entire thing. Why? Because then you just give back the shtar. So if you do write a kuli. He was the lender to Rabbi Abu. Also coming to Rav Chanina bar Papa Amalei Avli Zuzi. So he comes in front of Chanina Papa to die and he says, "I want my money." Amalei Avli Shtar Vishko Zuzu. No problem. Give me your shtar. I'll pay you the money. Amalei Shtarcha Irchasli. Sorry, I lost it. I'll give you a receipt. Nothing to worry about. Amalei Rav Shmuel David Tavayu ain't koisi shaver. They hold there's no shaver, so I can't do it. I don't want a receipt. So it's a little expression. He says, you give me the sand from the caver, Rav and Shmuel, put it in my eyes. Meaning, I mechabed Rav and Shmuel very, very much. I want their sand to be in my eyes. But I don't mechabed very much. Rabbi Yechanon, Rav Shimon, Shlokish, David Tavayu, Koisim Shoiva. He said, you do write a receipt. Chenk Yosef Rav and Rav Loi Koisim Shoiva. Makes sense, right? A receipt. He says, it makes sense. You write a receipt. Why? Because what happens if the lender lost the shtar? Tiba, I think that was your question. What happens if the lender lost the shtar? So now the borrower is going to enjoy the loan and be happy. Meaning he's not going to pay for it. You have to write a receipt. What happens if you lose the receipt? Well, so what we said in the Mishnah. So then the lender will be able to extract the money. Yes, that's not a problem. You're basically saying it's not fair. Right? If you hold that the lender does not write a receipt, so the lender will lose out. If you write a receipt, the borrower will lose out. So why you decide that the borrower should lose out, not the lender? The answer is the borrower is the underdog. Why? The borrower is a slave to the lender. And so I don't care to mess with the borrower as I care to mess with the lender.
Can you say that again?
I'm willing to mess up the borrower more than the lender.
Who's I?
Rabbana. Meaning I'm asking him to write a receipt. He may lose it from it because he's going to lose the receipt. His problem. Too bad. I have two choices what to do. I can either give the lender something which is not so kishmak. You have to get back your shtar. If you lost, you're done. You can't get your loan back. Or I have to do a bad deal to the borrower. Tell him you have to take a receipt to keep it.
What's in the
No.
I hear, but I'm saying is he wants to get paid.
He wants to get paid. The lender gave money. He was a nice guy. He gave his friend $100,000. Goes to him and says, "Do you remember?" He says, "Yeah, I do. Do you owe me money? 100%. I didn't agree. Pay me back. Give me back the loan back. I don't have it. I lost it. Too bad." So, right? You can't say that.
Why not?
Because then the lender's losing out. The lender gave him money.
Okay.
So, we have a solution. Write a receipt. Write a receipt. You write the receipt to the borrower and everything is gishmak. To the borrower, no, but I'm going to have to keep the receipt. What happens if I lose the receipt? So that's what it says. That's what it says. Why do I prefer to mess up the borrower more than the lender? If it really the borrower is a slave to the lender. So better for him to be messed up than the lender. Says the Gemara. It says the Mishnah. That's the basis of our sugya. If you have an early shtar, it's possible. An earlier date. A later date is kasha. Sorry. Elo shtarei alvo. Dafka by loans. Shtarei mekach umem karim. Afilu mu'chorim na'im psulim. Even though if you have a star of a sale, Meucher is possible. Why? Simon the Mazman the Arab Benison, the cost of Libet Tishrei. Now, this is really very similar to what we said before. The more has more saying in more words. He wrote he sold the land in Nisan. Reuben sold Shimon the land in Nisan. But he wrote in the Shtar Tishrei. In the meantime, Reuben finds money. He goes back to Shimon and says, Shimon, remember the land I sold you? Yeah, I want it back. So sure, I'll sell it back to you for this and this price. Here, take the price. Take the land. Then comes Tishrei, comes Shimon, says, give me my land. I wouldn't give you land. I sold it to you. I mean, I bought it for you. He says, yeah, but I bought it back. You bought it back. What does your receipt say? Iyar. My star says Tishrei. It was after. So the more Yachi story alvo nami zimin the Yozi benison because the story beneath Tishrei umisrabli zuri beni beni correlate. Now maybe it can happen the same thing with the law. He borrows the money on Tishrei, but if it says a later date, he borrows the money in Nisan, but it says on the start Tishrei, he may pay back in Iyar, and then at Tishrei comes back and says you owe me the money. It was a new loan. So the Gemara, he's going to tell him, give me my shtar. We're going to just continue the case. Comes back, he says, give me my shtar from Nisan. That says it in Tishrei. He says, it got lost. The cost of late time, he writes a show, writes a receipt. Now you borrowed from me this money. So, says the Gemara, why can't I write a shtar mekach meucher? A sale, a late date on a sale. The reason why I can't write the late date in the sale is because maybe there will be a trick over here. He's going to claim that after he did the sale later, and whatever happened in the middle was before. It's going to say thing by law. Says the Gemara, Kasova ain't question shoiva. You don't write a receipt. You do not write a receipt, so the bar tells the lender, until you don't give me the shtar, I'm not paying you back. That's why there's a difference between shtar law and shtar mecher. והיינו דקסבינן שטרי מאוחר, דקסבינן תברו. Our gear says, Mike Avdin and Hochi, they have a gear over here that says, you just take out these words. In other words, today, we do write shtar me'ucher. And we do write a shayver. So you have the problem, we just said, but alone. What's the problem? Then maybe he's going to borrow in Nisan, return it in Iyar, and the lender is going to come in Tishrei and say, I have a shtar. It says Tishrei. It's a new loan. And you write a shaver. He says, I have a shaver. The shaver is Iyar. So the Gemara, here comes what Rav Harry was mentioning before. Rav Abba told us his Seifrim, let me tell you what to do so to avoid this mess. When you write a late shtar, write it clearly. Easy, just say, be clear. Write it. This shtar, even though the date on the shtar is Tishrei, but the shtar was done much earlier. Just write clearly. Oh, so it says the Gemara, that's the solution today. We don't do this anymore. We don't write this lashon. So what's going to be our solution again? Also, after Rav Safra told us Seifrim, what did he tell them? The fours of Abba, now it's Safra. If you write the receipt, if you know that this is bottom of the shtar, so write the receipt. So if the shtar says Nisan, so then you write a receipt in Iyar. But if the shtar says Tishrei, so you have to write it. You have to make sure it's not going to say an early receipt. I think that was your solution. Don't write it a similar thing. Don't write a date. Don't write it in the show what date it is. Just write a receipt, say you paid me back. The Cholemas did never Leroy. Every time he comes out with a shtar, he'll say you paid back. Now, what's going to be the so this lender can never lend the money? Says the Rashba, no, he can't lend him this sum. Let's say he lent him $100,000. Receipt writes the $100,000 loan was paid back. Once they lend him again, he has to lend him $90,000.
So maybe the receipt is on partial. He writes it down.
No, so that it will be clear. Pashtus. Says the Gemara, continue with this Ma'aluch. So when I have Kufay Beis Ud Aleph, what about today? Today we don't write these things. So I get out of the problem. Meaning, Rabbanan gave you solutions.
You want to do it?
Either you don't write a shaver, you have no problem. You want to write a shaver, make sure to write the shtar much or the dates. Clearly, the date is much. You didn't do that. Write on the shaver. The shaver doesn't have a date. You didn't use one of the solutions Rabbanan gave you. Okay, what can I do? We're giving you whatever you can. You have to use it. If you're not using it, it's a problem. Right? It's like and I don't know if the Havdil, but it's like the story of the person who's he's at the top of the building. He's drowning, and they're coming, and they come with the boat comes to try to save him, and he says, "Come and save me." He says, "No, Kishboch to come and save me. Leave me alone." So then comes the helicopter, puts down a thing. Come, we're going to save you. Kishboch is going to save me. I don't need you. Then comes the plane, and he comes out. He says, "I'm going to save you." I'm okay. Kishboch is going to save me. He dies. He goes up to Shemaim. He comes to Hashem. Hashem says, "He goes to Hashem and says, Kishboch, I don't understand. I was relying on you, and you didn't come to save me." So what do you mean, come to save you? So I sent you the boat. I sent you the helicopter. I sent you the plane. You didn't want to go. What are we supposed to do? Rabbanan gave you solutions. You want to still mess up to yourself? You have your free will to mess up.
So why are they allowing out-of-date things? I don't understand.
Oh, so you say, why Bichlal have shtar mucha? That's a good shayla. Just don't allow.
Drain your cup so you can drain some more.